So I thought I'd make a video. I just bought some from Amazon. I usually get almost all my stuff because it's the most affordable, cheapest place I can get it, and I don't have to spend money on a bus trip. And they usually have like no-name brands, so you know it's kind of like shopping at a dollar store. So I bought this product, and it is some compression pants. Do you see these compression pants? Okay, so I wear these because it helps blood circulation, the capillaries, helps protect my skin, helps keep everything in place, and kind of helps me sort of stay active, somewhat of how, wherever the laziness of everything that's kind of going on in the world that I live in compared to how I used to live. I got these, and these are 3/4 of compression pants, meaning they're not shorts. They're exactly like these, but they stop right about here, a little below the knee. And I don't know who's responsible for this, but I don't know what they did, because I know how compression pants, they weren't doing this before. The compression pants are very specifically, they're designed and sewed in a specific way, right? Because they're usually there's more or less fabric on this front end, so that when men put these on, you know, you have everything in place, it's tight to the skin, and obviously you have a lot of room in the back because, you know, everyone has more meat in the back. And but whoever sews these, there's a certain metric sewing measurement that you have to have for a large, medium, small, and it's fit proportionally, specifically to fit a certain kind of way. But the way that this individuals have been doing it is they sewed this in so that the back, it has very little actual fabric and sewed in correctly, and the front has a bunch of space so that whenever I squat, I'm having to kind of move around, and there's too much loose space in the front and not enough in the back, which is also supposed to go to between the crotch, not between but between your legs below your crotch, to be very tight fitting. But it's not like that, because this is some of the psychology that they do, that it gets very frustrating, you know, because it's a sensation of like, oh, okay, I have this, but I have that, and where does it go? Because I got raped by a transgender, and for obviously, you know, the sex changes that people have and the transgenders, this is a compression, something that is like a straight jacket. Straight jackets, you know what they do? They confine the clothing. It's maybe something of that, an analogy. But anyway, I just bought these. So, given the idea that everything's confiscated, everything's under their control, what they probably did is they probably replaced it, probably stole the item, then replaced it, or they actually shipped it with those same type of sewing material, where they're specifically doing it and sending it to me this way. They're not correctly doing it. So I'm expecting that they're going to steal more money from me again, continuing to do this. So I'll open this right now. As you can see, these are compression pants. I know it's getting kind of, usually I like the long ones, but it's getting hot for summer, so I try to keep it. I thought I'd get another pair for maybe someone that's a little bit more fitting. As you can see, now do you notice how they have all these sewing parts in here? That is because what they do is they tear that into fabrics and then figure out the measurements on how to proportionally then put another straight jacket on me. But anyway, I thought I'd make a video on this. So I haven't tried these on yet. This one has a little pocket here, you know. You have like a little pocket here that you can kind of put a little bit of money or whatever. But I got these, and this is this looks like it's Reebok. It's a Reebok. But anyway, and as you can see, that's large. And so in most cases, you know, they sell a bunch of different versions of them, but they all are supposed to have a metric lining measurements to all of it, all proportionally, all of them, regardless of size and girth of males and whatnot, because they're compression pants, or undergarments, which is supposed to be very healthy as well. It keeps you warm. At least I enjoy them, even when I don't work out, because I never know what's going to happen. But I thought I would make a video on this. You know, I paid $10 for this, you know, and I paid, you know, for this one and the ones I have on, I paid, you know, $10, $15 each. And I'm always having money stolen. It's very frustrating when I try to buy something somewhat decent, nice for myself to be comfortable, and it's just a statement, because I try to be active, and it kind of helps me stay more alert, stay more awake. So even when I'm studying, not working out, it just keeps me that more mental alertness, and at least I think it does for me. I think it's overall a good positive thing, but when you're intentionally putting pants, compression pants, and someone is sewing them so that I feel confused, and I don't feel confused, but that's what the very intention is. They very much make it so that they basically, when they sew this, you can see these are Pro Combat, what they do is they cut it off and then they reverse it. So when I put these on, they always feel like I had it reversed. They're completely the other way around. And the reason they psychology do this to me is because it's where your shit is, right? Your butthole and your testicles. So that it's a mental poison that they use so you shit out what you think you're supposed to be getting. And it's a very disgusting psychology game that they play. And it's very frustrating, because then they tell other people to tell certain things to me, implying about that, all kinds of things, you know, and it's for that very reason. But I thought I'd make a video, you know, that this is what they're doing to me, that they're stealing my clothes I buy, re-sewing it, so that it justifies the raping that I experience. And they have their own psychological methods, but this is how I live. I can't even wear undergarments that I'm paying for that is supposed to be what, you know, without somebody handling and redesigning it and putting it on to me. It's because they want to do this whole guilt trip and all the things that they're doing to me. But I bought these, and see what else they're going to steal from me. So I haven't tried this. Try these on probably later, today, tomorrow, or sometime, and then figure out they did it again, because this is what they do. I'm almost positive there should be no difference, because they know that the reason I'm buying this is because I'm aware of that. All through the night, like whenever I squat, you can feel the underwear. It goes all the way down to here, and when you squat, it's not supposed to be like that, because these are athletic pants, and you can feel that what they did with the ones I have on in this one is they cut off the top part, and then they reverse it, and then they proportionally sew the material differently. So imagine this. Look at this right now. You see how many different, you can see how this is already built? I can tell you by looking at this right now, it's probably the same thing. So how many different measurements could you possibly cut through this to fit it? Because they have my metric system in my entire body. They know exactly the length of my legs and so on. But imagine, okay, well, we're going to just do a psychological piece of clothing that pushes against his body, and we're going to justify and taunt him about this. So there's always this remembrance that they're doing. You know, what right do you have after raping with a transgender than to do this to me? Oh, it's just different psychology, I just meant something else, and that's not the truth. But, I mean, you can just tell by looking at it. I mean, without a doubt, you know, they have all kinds of sewing, you know, it gives much more different angles and abilities to do whatever you want to. Look at this. But anyway, I thought I'd make a video.